So baby boomers own an outsized number of homes, especially large homes, homes that would be suitable for young millennial families with children to occupy those bedrooms instead of those bedrooms being vacant. Okay, so this is an interesting housing story that's evolving. So there is some chatter in the White House and really amongst, legislators in general about increasing the capital gains tax exemption. And this matters for the housing market. This is why. These baby boomers who own these large homes, they have seen their home values increase quite considerably over the last decade or for however long they've owned them. Their home values have increased so much that they would get a large tax bill if they were to sell. This is more of a thing in places where prices have been going up dramatically, like in California or on the coast. Most people who live in like the middle of America, their homes have not gone up in value enough to exceed the limit on the capital gains tax exemption. But there's this idea going around that's like, well, if people aren't selling because they don't want to get hit with a capital gains tax bill, we should increase the cap on the exemption so that more people would want to sell because then we would lower their taxes when they sell. I'm not sure how politically viable this is. I think that there's a lot of frustration amongst younger generations that baby boomers already get so many tax cuts. Like if you look at the graph of how tax revenue is spent, a lot of it is spent on seniors through programs like I always confuse Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security, obviously. We just spend a lot of money on senior citizens and we don't tax them very much. And if we were to increase this capital gains tax exemption, we would be lowering taxes for people who are already very, very wealthy. So let's see. Only about 15% of US homeowners would benefit from an idea to eliminate the capital gains tax exemption on primary homes. The other are 85% already covered by the existing capital gains exemption of up to $500,000 per couple. So you already don't have to pay capital gains tax on the first $500,000 in profit from your home sale if you're married. If you're not married, it's like half of that or something like that. If we were to increase that, we would be giving a tax break to people who are already netting more than $500,000 on their home sale. They're already walking away with $500,000. So if you believe in progressive taxation, this idea that we should be taxing the wealthy more than we should be taxing, middle income, lower income, less wealthy people, this is not something that I think would fly for you. But would it result in more homes being sold? Yes, because we would change the incentives of these older people in these very valuable homes so that they're not holding on to them until they die just to avoid taxes. And the other way you could do this, which also probably wouldn't fly politically, is you could increase the taxes on people who hold on to these homes. Like you could increase their property taxes. Older people often get property tax caps, property tax exemptions in order to allow them to stay in their homes. But if we're trying to create policies to get people to sell their homes, it doesn't really make sense for us to exempt property taxes for the purpose of people staying in their homes longer, right? It's not probably the best political strategy to tell older Americans that we're going to tax them higher. They're not going to vote for you if you tell them you're going to raise your taxes, but they might vote for you if you tell them you're going to eliminate their taxes. So that's the story behind this idea.